everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Sekani, a podcast for people in their 20s who are trying to figure out life and not get lost along the way. Today's guest is Nandita Mahadevan, a former C-suite executive turned founder of SolWomen, a movement helping women in midlife reclaim their health, identity, and purpose. After spending 25 years building what looked like a successful life, Nandita faced a turning point when perimenopause, personal change, and deep internal questions forced her to redefine everything she thought she knew about success and self worth. Today, she empowers women to navigate midlife with clarity, strength, and sisterhood, which is what we do here at Conversations with Sekani. We talk about, things that could help us gain clarity about some certain things that we need to know. So, yeah, welcome to Conversations with Sekani. Nandita, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
All right. So, yes, I want to start from the beginning. The illusion of success. So, you built what many would call the perfect life. So, when did you realize something felt off?
Yeah, something felt off because I had everything I thought I wanted externally. I had the beautiful house, I had a beautiful family. I was making a really good income. My position was great. I was scaling various corporate companies, but I felt really sad on the inside. I just felt empty on the inside. And there was really no purpose to what I was doing. I felt like I had built this mansion that looked beautiful on the outside, but there was no soul on the inside.
Wow.
So, yeah, and I think that became more clear when I got closer to my 40s because I got to pause. There were moments where I got to pause and really reflect on the life that I had built. And to everybody on the outside, it seemed perfect. All of my friends, to them, it looked perfect. But there was just a lack of inspiration, excitement, joy, fulfillment within me that I could not just avoid and continue, ignoring. So, yeah.
Right. Wow. You know, society, I feel like society has, created a kind of an illusion of perfect life for especially women. What I mean is over here in Africa, right? For a woman to have a perfect life, she needs to be married at a certain age, she needs to have children, and she needs to be taking care of her husband. That's a perfect life, right?
Right.
But if you look inward, most of these women are not happy. Now, I'm not saying marriage is bad or children are bad, right? I'm just saying that should not be what you consider perfect life. What you should consider a perfect life is what you feel you really want for yourself, right? So yes, I'm actually excited we're talking about this, right? So one question that came to me is I want to know, right? You realized something felt off, but what exactly did you find out that, okay, this is exactly what is off about my perfect life, and this is what I want for myself?
Yeah, I would say there was just a lack of fulfillment within me. There wasn't really much joy that I felt. And I knew there was some kind of a misalignment in what I was doing and what I was chasing versus who I truly wanted to be within. And so I really had to step away and recognize that what makes me happy is really having space in my day to do fun things with my life. What is the point of having built these successful companies and having tons of money in your bank account if you're not enjoying life and going out and doing fun things? I have two beautiful kids who I love to death, but I wasn't spending enough time with them. I really wasn't giving them and focusing on them because I was just on this rat race, constantly trying to get better and bigger and have, more success. And so I really had to pause and say, and take kind of an inventory of my life and say, this is great. Productivity is so important, but so is fun and pleasure. And what am I doing on this side of the fun and pleasure? There was nothing here. There was so much here. And so it really came down to stopping, understanding what am I really passionate about, which is, to me, it was helping women and helping them understand what their purpose in life is. And this was really came because of my journey, what I went through, and I recognized the importance of it. And then understanding the importance of spending time with your kids and going out and having fun, or even during the day, going out for a walk, being in nature, hanging out with your friends, laughing. Those are the things that fill your soul, that make you happy. And so, how do you balance those two?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. So, basically it's about loving yourself, showing yourself so much love, right? Not just, the normal day-to-day activities, just finding time to make yourself feel better. All right. Okay. So you said something about how do I balance those things, right? So how would you advise us, right, to actually balance, self-love and then the normal day-to-day activities, or let's say business, right? How do I balance business and self-love?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I coach many women around this, and it's not an easier linear from here to here. I think the most important thing is to sit down and understand what are all your priorities, because we all have so many things that are important, and we always put ourselves last, right, at the bottom of the list. It's
Mm.
like all of these other things need to first get taken care of. As a woman, you understand that you've got to first take care of your partner, your business, your household, making sure the kids are fed, the laundry is done, everything is done. And then if we have time, we take care of ourselves. Most of the time, we don't have time to take care of ourselves, or we're too tired by the end of it to take care of ourselves. And so, how do you change that layout and say the most important part of this is taking care of myself? Because if my cup is full, then I can take care of everybody else, right? And if you're just running on empty, you can only run for so long. At some point, your body is going to tank. And so, the long term, if you're thinking long term and you really want to live a long, healthy life and support your family and the kids and the business, the most important thing you can do is to take care of yourself first. And so prioritize that in your day. As soon as I wake up, what I do, and I help my coaching patients with this, is the beginning of your day, you get to set some time aside for yourself. Before you get up and look at your phone or get onto Instagram or check your emails, set aside about 20 to 30 minutes of your day to just set an intention for your day. What is your intention for your day? Maybe you sit and meditate, maybe you journal, maybe you go out for a walk, get the sun on your face, do something just for yourself, go work out, whatever that is that fills you up, you get to do at the beginning of the day. And then during your day, however busy it is, put some breaks in there. I do 3 to 5 breaks during my day and block it in your calendar. And it's a non-negotiable. Just like you've got to feed your kids, that's a non-negotiable. You never forget to feed your kids. It just has to be done no matter how busy you are. The same thing, taking care of yourself is feeding yourself. Put those blocks in no matter what. You do those blocks. You go out, whatever it is, go out for a walk, jump on your trampoline, go paint your nails, put on music, dance, whatever it is that makes you happy, go do it. And the last thing I would say, I work in functional medicine. So to me, also understanding your health is a big component of taking care of yourself. It's getting some basic lab testing done to understand where you are, eating healthy, working out every day, making sure you've done your blood work to understand where your levels are. That's all part of taking care of yourself. Yeah.
Right. Wow. It gives me so much joy hearing these things, right? I love that women are now starting to take care of themselves, right? It makes me happy. Okay, so it brings me to like my next question, right? When I was giving your intro, I saw something, right? Perimenopause. Wow, it's the first time I'm hearing that. I don't know what it is. So, you described it as like a storm. So, what was that experience like for you? And again, what is it actually?
Yeah. Do you know what menopause is?
Yes,
So
definitely.
women have a hormone cycle, right? When you come to puberty and you start your periods, that's your hormones go up and down. And then towards the end, when you get closer to about 55, your hormones change again when you get into menopause, which is the end of your cycle. About 10 years before you hit menopause, you enter this phase called perimenopause. So it's anywhere from 38 to, 48-ish. It's about 10 years. And your hormones start fluctuating. They're trying to get ready for menopause. And so they go up and down. And with that, you start feeling differently. Your mood starts to fluctuate. You may put on some weight around your midriff that just doesn't go away. You may be exercising and eating just as well as you did in your 20s and your 30s, but in your 40s, you start feeling differently. You can't sleep as well. You have night sweats. Depression and anxiety starts to really come up to the surface. And so those are some of the symptoms in perimenopause. There are so many different symptoms, but it's all really related to hormone imbalance. Um, and if you don't know about it, you can feel like you're going crazy because you will feel fine. And then all of a sudden, what is going on with me? A lot of conventional medicine doctors don't necessarily recognize perimenopause or know of it or know how to test for it. And so I think educating yourself is so important for us women. As soon as you get to 30, 35, I think it's important for you to understand what's coming. And there are so many tools you can use to prevent all of those symptoms. So if you educate yourself and you enter this phase understanding what's coming, it can be amazing. But if you don't know, you feel like, oh my God, what is going on with me? I just feel really helpless and lost. So that's perimenopause.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
When I
Now,
entered perimenopause, I didn't know any. Well, what was that?
yeah, I said now I understand.
Yeah, yeah. When I entered perimenopause, I really didn't know very much about what to expect. And so I felt like I was going crazy. And it was a very lonely journey because not many people talk about it. And so it was quite a learning curve. And that's why I founded Soul Women, is because I really want to educate and empower younger women coming into this to know what to expect and how it can really be so empowering and such a liberating phase of your life if you know what to expect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like a lot of women, right? They go through this phase feeling alone or even broken. And I feel like it's because there's not much awareness about this phase. Not many people are aware that there's a phase called perimenopause. We only know about menopause, right? So yeah, which leads me to like speaking up, right? So what happened when you finally opened up about your experience, and how can women, start to speak up about their experience?
Yeah, it was a really interesting phase because I felt very lonely for the longest time and I felt like this was a me problem, like there was something wrong with me. And I didn't get any support. Even when I went to my doctor, he kind of looked at my labs and said, everything looks fine. He said, go hang out with your girlfriends and maybe get a glass of wine. And so I felt really dismissed because I knew there was something wrong. I knew I felt off. But normally we go to the doctor and the doctor is able to fix everything. And my doctor wasn't able to. And so I went, it was one day that I was at a park with my kids and there was another mom there. And I just broke down and shared with her how I was feeling. It was a total meltdown. And it was interesting because she listened to me and then she looked at me and she said, guess what? I feel the same way. I'm going through the same thing. Me too. And then I went and I was standing in line at a grocery store and happened to talk to one of the women there. And she shared that she was going through the same thing. And so it was very interesting for me to recognize that there were so many other women going through the same thing, but they were just not talking about it because they felt exactly how I felt, which was there must be something wrong with me, which is not the case, right? And so I think when I talked about it, it gave them permission to share with me. It made them feel safe enough to share with me. And the more women I spoke to, I recognized this is just about a lack of knowledge, and we get to go out and educate and support these women. So I feel so much stronger and happier, and the women that I do take care of feel that same way. And so it's almost a responsibility that we have, the ones who are aware of it, to go out and share this information so nobody feels blindsided by it.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, for the records, I just want to thank you for what you're doing, right? Thank you. You're doing a very good job, actually, trying to create this awareness amongst women and also making them feel better. So yes, thank you so much for that one. It brings me to, SolWomen, right? So what is SolWomen and how does this support women in midlife?
Yeah, Soul Women is really a grassroots level movement to educate and empower women in midlife. So I shared with you my story, and that's what led to the foundation of Soul Women. I really don't want women to go through midlife completely blindsided. I have a daughter. I don't want her to enter midlife not knowing anything about this, right? And so once you educate yourself and you use the tools that are freely available, this phase can really be exciting and healthy, and you can feel so vibrant as long as you're educated on it. So that's what Soul Women is. There are three really important pillars to Soul Women. The first one is functional medicine, which is where we go through a series of lab tests. We look at your gut, your nutrition, your lifestyle. Hormones are all connected. Your body is interconnected, right? We kind of tend to look at the hormones as a separate entity, your gut is a separate entity. That's kind of the conventional medicine model, but that's truly the body is all interconnected. So how your gut relates to your hormones, that relates to your brain, it's all connected. And so that's what functional medicine is really good at. They look at the whole body and connect the dots. So that helps you with your physical health. The second pillar is around mindset and accountability shifting. So we talked about how women are raised to take care of everyone else before they take care of themselves. They feel like if they're taking care of themselves, they almost look at it as being selfish, which is so not the case. You need to shift that mindset and understand that when you take care of yourself, you're actually gifting everybody around you a better version of you. And so that shift in mindset is important, and prioritizing yourself is really important. Another aspect is really feeling safe within your body, and that comes down to nervous system rebalancing. Women are generally constantly trying to do what is next? What is next on my list? What do I need to take care of? And so we're really tightly wound, right? But we have to learn how best to deal with stress, because stress is not going away. There's no world in which there's not going to be any stress. We're all going to be stressed. But how do you deal with it in a manner that calms your nervous system? And so that's a really important component of it. And then the third is sisterhood and community, which is when you bring women together and they truly share what they have going on, it's incredible because you support each other, right? We all have lots of friends, but very few of us have true friends where we really feel like we can share openly and vulnerably and fall apart, and they really listen without judgment. A lot of us sit and judge other people, right? And we have surface level conversations. So, true community and sisterhood is where we are here for each other. You can say anything you want to, you can feel safe enough to share what you're going through as you're going through midlife, and we will support you. So, those are the three really important pillars that we bring together in Soul Women.
All right. Wow. Okay. Thank you. All right. So it's I want to list them out, right? Let me know if I'm correct. So first is like functional medicine, right? Then redefining midlife. Am I correct? And then this
Mindset, and accountability.
okay. Mindset and accountability, functional medicine, and uh,
It's okay, sisterhood, community.
sisterhood. Good. All
Got it.
right.
Got it.
All right. So yes, thank you so much for this, right? This has been amazing. It's actually a very powerful and honest conversation, especially for anyone who are trying to navigate change, identity, and the next chapter of their life, those who are trying to embrace it. Which brings me to my final question. which is also redefining midlife. So I believe you have a message for people out there, right? So what does a truly empowered second half of life look like? And do you have any message to give to women who are about to go into that phase of their life?
My message is that it can be the most exciting, empowering, liberating half of your life. You do not, by the time you get to midlife, you're no longer trying to please everybody around you. You recognize how much wisdom you have because of your lived experiences. And you're willing to stand in your power and really reclaim who you are. And you can take care of your health. There are ways to take care of your health. You can, once you take care of your mindset and just change the way of you approaching midlife, it can be incredible. I am happier today than I have ever been my entire life. I am stronger physically today than I have ever been. And it wasn't always like that. I had a really tumultuous 5, 7 years of me trying to figure out what was going on. But once I figured it out, oh my God, life is incredible. The second half is so exciting. You can make it anything you want it to be. And there are tools out there. So go find the tools, reach out to us for support if you need. I'm happy to help any way I can. But you get to make it what you want it to be. So you can either choose to sit in the role of victim and feel bad about it, or you can take charge, learn, and really do something about it and make it super exciting.
All right. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. I really do appreciate this. And I hope my listeners would, learn from this and this would be empowering to them. Which brings me to my final segment. It's called the rapid fire segment.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So starting now, right? Success is.
Oh, I'm supposed to answer. Success is joy, fulfillment.
Okay. All right. Healing requires.
Healing requires an inner knowing.
Hmm. Okay. Midlife is.
Reinvention.
Okay. Strength feels like.
Strength feels like liberation,
Hmm.
power, owning your worth.
Okay. Wow. All right. And finally, you are.
I am Nandita. I am soul woman, a powerful being.
Oh, wow. You
Yes.
did amazing.
Thank
That was
you.
an amazing session. And yes, Nandita, where can listeners get to know more about you and what you do?
Yeah, you can come to my website, which is solwomen.com, SolWomen.com. And we have all of our information on there. Also, our Instagram page is The Soul Women. So TheSolWomen is our Instagram page.
All right, these soul women. Okay, so yes, thank you, Nandita. This has been amazing and deeply insightful. And yeah, to my listeners, thanks for tuning in to Conversations with Sekani. If this episode sparked something in you, make sure to share to someone you think might need this and also subscribe so you don't miss out on new episode. Thank you, Nandita. Do have a wonderful day.
Bye bye.
All right, bye.